because by the end of this lesson, I want you to stop believing one of the biggest myths about learning English. Many people think that native speakers are simply born with a special ability to understand fast English. They believe that if someone speaks quickly, it is impossible to catch every word unless English is your first language. But that is not true. The real secret is not speaking faster or knowing thousands of difficult words. The real secret is training your ears to recognize English the way your brain recognizes your own language. Let me ask you a simple question. Have you ever watched an English movie and understood almost everything when the subtitles were on? But the moment you turned them off, it felt as if everyone was speaking at double speed. Maybe you recognized a few words here and there, but the whole sentence disappeared before your brain had time to process it. If this has happened to you, please know that you are not alone. Millions of English learners experience exactly the same thing every day. Now think about how children learn their first language. They don't begin by memorizing grammar rules. They don't study long vocabulary lists before they speak. Instead, they spend months and even years listening. They hear the same sounds again and again. They hear conversations while playing, eating, laughing, and spending time with family. Their brains slowly begin to recognize patterns. That is exactly how listening works. The more meaningful English your ears receive, the more naturally your brain understands it. Many learners become frustrated because they expect instant results. They listen to one podcast, one speech, or one movie, and then say, "I still can't understand fast English." Learning doesn't happen that way. Every minute you spend listening is building new connections inside your brain, even when it doesn't feel like progress. Improvement often happens quietly. Then one day, you suddenly realize that you understood an entire conversation that used to sound impossible. One mistake I see again and again is trying to translate every sentence into your native language. Imagine listening to someone who is speaking very quickly. By the time you translate the first sentence, the speaker has already finished the next 3 sentences. Translation creates a delay, and that delay makes fast English seem even faster. Instead of translating, train yourself to connect English words directly to ideas, pictures, emotions, and actions. For example, when you hear the word rain, don't think of the translation in your language. Imagine rain falling from the sky. When you hear coffee, picture a warm cup in your hands. When someone says, "I'm running late," imagine a person hurrying to arrive somewhere. Your goal is to build direct connections between English and real life. Listening is not about hearing every single word. Even native speakers sometimes miss words in noisy places. What they do is listen for the overall meaning. They use context to understand what the speaker is trying to say. You can learn to do the same thing. Suppose someone says, "I missed the bus this morning, so I had to walk all the way to work." Even if you don't recognize every word, words like bus, walk, and work give your brain enough information to understand the story. Focus on the message, not on perfect accuracy. Another powerful habit is listening to the same audio several times. Many learners think they should always move to something new, but repetition is where real learning happens. The first time you listen, simply relax and understand the general idea. The second time, notice words you missed before. The third time, pay attention to pronunciation. The fourth time, repeat the sentences aloud with the speaker. Every repetition makes your listening stronger. There is another technique that has helped countless English learners around the world. It is called shadowing. Shadowing simply means listening to a speaker and repeating the words almost immediately. Don't wait until the sentence is finished. Try to copy the rhythm, pronunciation, and speed as closely as possible. At first, it feels difficult. Your tongue may struggle. Your brain may become tired after only a few minutes. That is completely normal. Every athlete trains muscles through repetition. In the same way, shadowing trains the muscles involved in speaking English. Please don't worry if your pronunciation isn't perfect. Every learner has an accent, and that is completely okay. Your goal is clear communication, not perfection. Confidence grows through practice, not through waiting until you feel ready. Choose English that you genuinely enjoy. If you love cooking, watch cooking videos in English. If you enjoy travel, listen to travel stories. If you enjoy technology, watch technology reviews. Interest keeps your attention focused, and focused attention helps your brain learn more effectively. It is also important to expose yourself to different voices. Every speaker has a unique style. Some speak slowly, while others speak quickly. Some have American accents. Others have British, Australian, Canadian, or many other English accents. At first, these differences may seem confusing, but over time your ears become more flexible. Eventually, you begin recognizing English regardless of who is speaking. One habit that changed my own learning was thinking in English during everyday activities. When I woke up, I described my morning in simple English. While making breakfast, I named everything around me. I talked about the weather, my plans, and my feelings. I didn't worry about mistakes because no one was judging me. These small conversations with myself gradually made English feel natural instead of foreign. Remember that simple English spoken every day is much more powerful than difficult English studied once a week. 5 minutes of focused listening every day will help you more than 2 hours of distracted listening once in a while. Consistency always wins. Sometimes you may feel discouraged because you compare yourself to people who speak fluently. Please don't compare your beginning to someone else's years of practice. Every fluent English speaker was once a beginner. Every confident speaker once hesitated before saying simple sentences. Growth happens one conversation, one lesson, and one listening session at a time. Celebrate every small success. Maybe today you understood 5 new words. Tomorrow you understood 1 complete sentence. Next week, you understood an entire short conversation. These victories may seem small, but together they create remarkable progress. Fluency is built from thousands of small improvements that happen day after day. Your brain is capable of learning English. It learns through repetition, patience, curiosity, and consistent exposure. The more you listen, the more familiar English becomes. The more familiar it becomes, the easier it is to understand fast conversations. What feels impossible today can become completely natural a few months from now if you continue showing up and practicing every single day. So beginning today, make yourself a simple promise. Listen with curiosity instead of fear. Speak with courage instead of perfection. Repeat instead of giving up. Trust the learning process even when progress feels slow. Every minute you spend listening is bringing you one step closer to understanding English like a native speaker. And one day, without even realizing when it happened, you'll find yourself smiling because the fast English that once sounded impossible now sounds clear, familiar, and wonderfully easy to understand. As you continue this journey, I want you to remember something that many learners forget. Understanding fast English is not a race. It is a skill that grows stronger every time you listen with patience and purpose. Some days you will notice amazing progress. Other days it may feel like nothing is changing. Both kinds of days are completely normal. Learning a language is like watching a tree grow. You cannot see it changing every hour, but if you keep watering it, one day you realize it has become strong and tall. Have you ever noticed that when you listen to a song many times, the lyrics suddenly become clear? The first time, you may only recognize a few words. The second time, you catch a few more. After listening again and again, you can sing almost every line without even thinking. That is exactly how your brain learns English. Repetition is not boring. Repetition is powerful. One of the best habits you can develop is becoming an active listener instead of a passive listener. Passive listening means playing English in the background while your attention is somewhere else. Although this can still help a little, active listening is much more effective. Active listening means giving your full attention to the speaker. Notice the pronunciation. Listen to the emotion. Pay attention to how words connect together. Ask yourself, what is the speaker trying to say? When you listen actively, your brain begins to notice patterns that you never saw before. Another important secret is learning common expressions instead of individual words. Imagine someone says, "Give me a hand." If you translate each word separately, you might think they are talking about a hand. But native speakers often use expressions that have a different meaning. Give me a hand simply means help me. The more common phrases you learn, the easier fast English becomes because your brain recognizes entire groups of words instead of translating each one. This is why reading while listening is such a helpful exercise. Find a short story, a speech, or a podcast with a transcript. Listen while following the written text. Your eyes and ears work together, helping your brain connect pronunciation with spelling. After doing this a few times, close the transcript and listen again. You will probably understand much more than before. Don't be afraid of difficult accents. Many learners only listen to one accent because it feels comfortable. But real life is full of different voices. Some people speak quickly, some speak slowly, some pronounce certain sounds differently. Instead of avoiding these differences, welcome them. Every new accent you hear makes your listening skills more flexible. Sometimes learners say, "I know the vocabulary, but I still can't understand people." This happens because spoken English is different from written English. Native speakers connect words together. They reduce sounds. They shorten expressions. They don't pause between every word. Instead, they speak in smooth, flowing sentences. At first, this sounds confusing, but your ears can learn these patterns through regular exposure. Think of listening as solving a puzzle. You don't always need every single piece before you understand the picture. Even if you miss a few words, the remaining information often tells you everything you need to know. Instead of stopping every few seconds because of one unknown word, keep listening. Often the next sentence explains the meaning naturally. Let me encourage you to make English part of your daily life. You don't need to wait until you have free time. Listen while cooking breakfast. Listen while walking. Listen while cleaning your room. Listen while exercising. These small moments add up. 20 minutes every day becomes more than 100 hours of English in a single year. Imagine how much your listening ability can improve with that kind of consistency. It is also helpful to speak immediately after listening. If you hear someone say, "Today I'm going to the supermarket because I need some fresh vegetables," pause the audio and repeat the same idea using your own words. You could say, "Today I'm going to the market because I need fruit and vegetables." This simple habit trains your brain to understand and produce English naturally. Please don't worry about making mistakes. Mistakes are not signs of failure. They are signs that you are learning. Every mistake teaches your brain something valuable. The only real mistake is staying silent because you are afraid of being wrong. Confidence does not appear overnight. It grows through action. Every sentence you speak makes the next sentence easier. Every conversation makes the next conversation less frightening. One day, you will realize that you are no longer translating every thought. English will begin to flow naturally because your brain has practiced it thousands of times. There will be moments when you feel stuck. Maybe you have been studying for weeks, but your progress seems slow. During those moments, don't quit. Remember why you started. Think about the opportunities that English can bring into your life. Perhaps you want to travel. Perhaps you want a better job. Perhaps you want to study abroad, make international friends, watch movies without subtitles, or simply feel confident in conversations. Every listening practice session brings you one step closer to those dreams. Another excellent habit is keeping a listening notebook. Whenever you hear a useful phrase, write it down. Don't just write the meaning. Write an example sentence too. Read these phrases aloud every day. Over time, they become part of your natural vocabulary. You can also challenge yourself with a simple exercise. Listen to one short audio every morning. In the evening, try to explain what you remember in English. It doesn't matter if your explanation is perfect. The goal is to train your memory and improve your speaking at the same time. Never underestimate the power of curiosity. Whenever you hear a new word or expression, don't feel frustrated, feel excited. Every new phrase is another tool that helps you communicate more clearly. Imagine building a bridge. Every word you learn is another strong piece connecting you to fluent communication. It is important to enjoy the process. If studying feels like a punishment, you will eventually lose motivation. Find English content that makes you smile, laugh, think, or feel inspired. Learning becomes much easier when you genuinely enjoy what you are listening to. Remember that fluency is not about speaking as fast as possible. Some people believe that fast speaking means fluent speaking, but that is not true. Fluency means expressing your thoughts clearly and understanding others with confidence. Speaking calmly and naturally is far more valuable than speaking quickly with confusion. Every time you listen to English, imagine that you are training a muscle. At first, the exercise feels difficult. Your brain becomes tired. You may need to pause often. But just as physical exercise makes your body stronger, listening practice makes your mind stronger. Gradually, what once felt exhausting becomes comfortable. Be patient with yourself. Growth takes time. Celebrate your progress instead of focusing on your imperfections. Every learner follows a different path. Some improve quickly in speaking. Others become strong listeners first. There is no perfect timeline. The important thing is to keep moving forward. The wonderful thing about learning English is that every single day offers a new opportunity to improve. Every conversation you hear teaches you something. Every podcast introduces new expressions. Every speech helps your ears recognize natural pronunciation. Piece by piece, your confidence grows stronger. One morning, you will listen to a conversation that once seemed impossibly fast, and you'll suddenly understand almost everything. You may even surprise yourself by replying naturally without translating. That moment will not happen because of luck. It will happen because of all the quiet practice you did when nobody was watching, all the times you listened again, all the moments you chose persistence instead of giving up. Those small daily efforts will become the foundation of your confidence, and they will remind you that understanding fast English is not a dream. It is a skill that you are building every single day. Now, I want you to imagine something. Picture yourself a few months from today. Imagine putting on your headphones, pressing play on an English podcast, and realizing that you no longer feel nervous. Instead of hearing a confusing stream of sounds, you begin to recognize words, phrases, and ideas. You smile because you understand what is being said without translating every sentence. That moment may seem far away right now, but it is closer than you think. Every day you practice brings you one step nearer to that version of yourself. The most important lesson I want to leave with you is this. Your ears become better listeners only by listening. There is no shortcut, no magic trick, and no secret formula that replaces consistent practice. The good news is that you don't need to study for 10 hours every day. Even 20 or 30 minutes of focused listening can make a remarkable difference if you do it consistently, creating a simple daily routine. Start your morning with 5 minutes of easy English. Listen to a short conversation while eating breakfast. Repeat a few sentences aloud before beginning your day. During lunch or while taking a walk, listen to another short recording. In the evening, spend a few minutes reviewing what you heard. This routine may sound small, but small habits repeated every day create extraordinary results. Another powerful habit is asking yourself questions in English. For example, when you wake up, ask yourself, "How am I feeling today?" Then answer in English. Ask yourself, "What am I going to do today?" Or "What would I like to learn today?" These simple conversations train your brain to think directly in English, instead of translating from another language. Whenever you learn a new word, don't stop there. Use it immediately. Create 3 or 4 different sentences with that word. Say those sentences aloud. The more you use new vocabulary, the more naturally it becomes part of your everyday speech. Words become memorable when they are connected to your own life and experiences. Please remember that listening and speaking are partners. They grow together. The more you listen, the more natural your speaking becomes. The more you speak, the easier it is to recognize the same patterns when other people use them. Never think that listening practice is separate from speaking practice. They support each other every single day. If you ever feel discouraged, take a moment to remember how much you have already learned. There was a time when even simple English sentences felt impossible. Today, you probably understand much more than you realize. Sometimes we become so focused on what we still don't know that we forget how far we have already come. Progress is not always obvious, but it is always happening when you keep practicing. There will always be new words to learn. Even native speakers continue learning new vocabulary throughout their lives. So don't wait until you know every word before you start speaking confidently. Communication is about sharing ideas, not about knowing every word in the dictionary. One wonderful way to improve your listening is to become curious about everyday conversations. Listen to how people greet each other, how they ask questions, how they express happiness, surprise, or excitement. Notice the little expressions they use naturally. These everyday phrases are often more valuable than long lists of advanced vocabulary because they appear again and again in real conversations. Another helpful exercise is retelling stories. After listening to a short story, close the audio and tell the story again using your own words. Don't worry if you forget some details. Focus on explaining the main idea. This strengthens your listening, memory, vocabulary, and speaking skills all at the same time. You should also learn to enjoy silence after listening. Instead of rushing to the next lesson, pause for a moment and think about what you just heard. Ask yourself what new phrase you learned, what pronunciation surprised you, or what expression you would like to use tomorrow. Reflection helps your brain organize new information. As your listening improves, challenge yourself little by little. Start with slow English if necessary. Then move to natural conversations. Later, listen to interviews, podcasts, documentaries, and movies. Every new challenge stretches your ability and prepares you for real-life communication. Don't let fear decide what you can achieve. Fear often whispers that you are too old, too slow, or too inexperienced to become fluent. But fear does not know your future. Your daily actions create your future. Every time you choose to practice instead of giving up, you prove that improvement is possible. Believe in gradual progress. Imagine filling a glass with drops of water. 1 drop seems insignificant. 2 drops seem insignificant. Even 100 drops may not look impressive, but eventually the glass becomes full. Learning English works the same way. Every lesson, every conversation, every podcast, every repeated sentence is another drop. Keep adding those drops, and one day you will be amazed by how much you have learned. Surround yourself with English whenever you can. Change the language on your phone if you feel comfortable. Read short articles. Listen to the news. Follow English-speaking creators who inspire you. The more English becomes part of your everyday environment, the less foreign it feels. Most importantly, enjoy your own voice. Don't wait until your pronunciation sounds perfect before speaking. Your voice deserves to be heard today, exactly as it is. Confidence grows through speaking, not through waiting. Every conversation is another opportunity to improve. Always remember that learning English is not just about grammar or vocabulary. It is about connecting with people, understanding new ideas, discovering different cultures, and opening doors that once seemed closed. Every new sentence you understand brings the world a little closer to you. I truly believe that you have everything you need to succeed. You have the ability to learn, the courage to begin, and the opportunity to practice. Those 3 things are incredibly powerful when combined with consistency. Keep listening, keep speaking, keep repeating, and keep believing in yourself. Months from now, someone may ask you, how did you become so much better at understanding English? Your answer will be simple. You listened every day. You practiced even when it was difficult. You stayed patient when progress felt slow. You chose consistency over perfection. Those simple choices changed everything. So, as we finish this lesson together, I want you to make one promise to yourself. Promise that you will not give up because of one difficult conversation. Promise that you will not judge yourself because of one mistake. Promise that you will keep showing up one day at a time with curiosity, patience, and determination. The journey to understanding fast English does not begin with perfection. It begins with a single decision to keep listening. Every sentence you hear is teaching you something. Every word you repeat is making your pronunciation stronger. Every conversation you practice is building confidence that no one can take away from you. I hope that the next time you hear fast English, instead of feeling nervous, you will feel excited. Instead of thinking, "This is too difficult," you will think, "This is another chance to improve." That small change in mindset can transform the entire learning experience. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope these ideas encourage you to keep moving forward with confidence and patience. Remember that fluency is not built in one day, but it is built every day. Keep listening with an open mind, keep speaking with courage, and keep believing that every practice session is bringing you closer to your goal. One day, you will realize that understanding fast English is no longer something you dream about. It will simply be part of who you are, and you will be proud of every step that brought you there.
Thanks for learning with English Voxia today. Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep improving your English every day. See you in the next lesson. Goodbye!